Welcome everyone to Hello Ernest at the Kitchen Table, connecting writers and readers. I am Jan Pratt, the author of several children's picture books and also the author of a series of yoga lesson plans for kids.
And I am Gaga Gabarty. I'm a co-author with Judy Lee Butler. Together, we write the Phoebe Cornell Mystery Series. Join us for every episode as we connect readers to your next great read.
Welcome to Hello Ernest. I'm Jan Pratt, your host today, and we are taking a little bit of a different turn today with our podcast. Usually we have authors here, but I have a publisher with me today. This is Marvellous Chukwuemeka from All Nations Publishing, and she's smiling because I think I came close to getting her name right.
Yes.
So Marvellous, will you tell us a little bit first about your journey to becoming a publisher, and then we'll talk a little bit about your publishing house.
All right. So good. Should I say hello, everybody? I'm Marvellous Chukwuemeka from Nigeria. So I have been a publisher for 5 years now and counting. I started this publishing company. I think it has been a dream, and praise God, it's been fulfilled today. From my childhood, I've always loved books, and I've always loved writing. I've always loved reading, but I don't know that one day I'm going to be a publisher. So fast forward to when I became a student in Indiana University East, Richmond, USA. I was an online student, and I met different people. And fortunately, I met Martha Tucker. She owns Indine Best Writers, and I worked with her as a personal assistant. So she that company is her company is mostly for books, for writers, and for authors. It's just all about books. But one thing I don't really know is if she really published those books. You know, I helped her then to gather authors, and we have lots of meetings on how to sell their books and how to write more books, and that was it. So I was doing the blogging and the blogs. I was making the blogs for her authors. I was posting on their social media platforms, and in that process, I began to learn a lot of things. So permit me to say that one of her authors, of which I brought to her, came to me one day and said, please, I need to publish my book. He's from Bangladesh, to be precise. And he said, I need to publish my books, but your madam is charging me a lot of money. That was even when I knew she was a publisher. And he said, please, can you help me? I said, okay. What, can I see your manuscript? He showed me the manuscript, and I said, okay. He asked me a very good question. He said, do you have a publishing house? So that was the first day I heard about a publishing house. And as a student of Indiana University, there was this website we created while studying. It was a part of a project. He said, please send me your website. I want to go through the website. So that was the moment I began to think about the name of a publishing house. And then I just came across a chapter, a verse in the Bible that says that all nations will come to your rising. So I gave it All Nations. I gave the name All Nations quickly to the website. I just worked on the website. I wrote down my proposals and I sent it to him. But unfortunately, he did not publish with me. But glory to God, that was when my publishing house was born. And then I said to myself, if this can happen, if I put more interest in this, if I work more on this, I think I am going to make something big about it. So And Matatoka, on her own part, because of the time difference, we were having difficulties in working, and she wanted me to do more than expected. So I just had to stop. I had to pause and focus on the publishing house. I went to the government for getting a CAC, that is company certificate, to get the company registered. And then All Nations was too short. So I thought of a name. I tried 17 times to get a perfect name for registration. And on the 16th time, I almost gave up registering the company. But on the 17th time, I just said, let me try for this last time. If it doesn't work, then I think this company thing is not for me. So on the 17th time, I went with the name Connecting All Nations to Marvellous. And then I was so excited to receive the congratulations message that my company has been registered under the name Connecting All Nations to Marvellous. So this time, not just All Nations Publishing House, but I connected all nations to Marvellous. And matter has been good. I cannot say that I won't thank her, for although she has been thinking maybe she just worked for me, but to tell you the truth, I learned a lot. I learned a whole lot from Mata. She's been one of the best. She helped me, she supported me in this journey as a publisher. So, and again, thanks to Indiana University, because studying under their umbrella was an amazing thing to me, although, because of financial instability. But I believe that God has something great, something amazing for me. So, and since then till today, the company has been moving from one realm of glory to another. God's grace has been sufficient. So I just give God praise.
That's pretty amazing journey. And I think it speaks to the fact that as I talk with authors, sometimes it's these past experiences that come forward for us. They're like little stepping stones that help us get to where we are today. So what type of authors do you represent? Are you across all genres? Do you like to represent specific genres or topics? Tell us a little bit about your authors.
All right. So in this journey as a publisher, I don't really have specific genres for publishing. I publish every book. I have published Christian books. I publish romantic books. I publish children books. I publish all type of books. I've even gone as far as publishing poetries and a lot more historical books. Name them. I publish them all because I realize that being selective will not expose me to other parts of this publishing industry. So I decided to publish every book that comes across my way. And not only that I just publish them, I did not just come out there to be a publisher. I also using this medium to support authors out there, because I realized that everybody just want to publish a book, but they don't even know the plans after the publishing. So many authors actually need to be asked, what's the plan? What's your plan for this book? It's not just to come out there and publish. What's the plan for the book? So I help authors to just push forward with that plans, or even introduce them to those plans. So I publish every book.
So as I talk with authors, it seems like they need lots of services. So this whole self-publishing industry has kind of changed how people go about getting their book out in the world. But I also realize that when they are self-published, that then so much of the process falls maybe short, like you were saying. They don't have this plan about how they're going to get this book out in the world. So what are the services you can provide for an author along the way? I mean, I would assume, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, that you can take it from idea to publication, but are there other things along the way that you can help authors with?
Yes, exactly. Now, for an instance, when we talk about okay, let me come close to this children's books authors. I have been on social media lately, and I realized that a lot of people have even diverted to publishing children's books, but they don't know their way after. Okay, now, as an author of a children's book, what is your plan? I used to tell people, like I spoke to one of my author that's a romantic book author. I told her, I cannot promote your romantic book just the way I promote children's book. For an instance, if I'm promoting children's book, I think it's mostly for audience like parents, kids, and yes, then I can't just go further than that. Then if you go for romantic books, you give it out to audience like parents, which are husbands and wives, lovers, you know, and adults, people that are mostly into romance, relationship. Those are people that would like to read relationship books. So for this children's book, what did I do? I decided to organize. You should have an idea of the event we are organizing. It just came to me one afternoon, and I sat down and I thought to myself, what will I do to make these authors, be more established in their field as an author? And then it just dawned on me that there are some books in schools today that are outdated, but we just keep reading them over and over and over again. Yes, like me, the books I used in my primary school, they still use them in primary school here, of which it's supposed to be that as the world changes, the kids also should change with the world. I am more than 25, so the kids now shouldn't use the books that I used when I was 5 or when I was 10. Exactly. So they are supposed to use the books that are written in this our present dispensation that should match their that should match this present world, not living in the past and remaining in the past. So I made some calls after I think the idea came while I was taking my bed. So after I finished, I just went out. I made some calls, and I told some school owners that I have some books and I want to bring it up. So I never knew that there are so many long process for it. The more deeper I went into it, the more I realized that, wow, this is not really easy. But in everything, even the school owners have realized that, yes, it is time for our kids to learn new things. It is time for our kids to know new stories. It is time for our kids to step up, and everybody's excited. What is this book? Can we see this book? I want to know more about these books. And they just want the new thing. Everybody wants the new thing. And before you know what was happening, they embraced the new books. So for the authors, it's really beneficial to them, because now for these books we have brought into the schools, praise God, we gathered 25 schools here in the East and 25 in the North. But now the East, they are insisting we should make them 65, because everybody's is interested in the books. So imagine if 25 or 65 schools are using some books from a particular author for at least 5 years or at least 10 years. Then tell me, that author will have more motivations to write more books. That authors, we have a confidence that, yes, I am not writing and writing in vain. Not only for the sales, but at least that the kids are also benefiting from what I am doing. So this is a way that I have begun to help authors. And then I'm pushing back to there is a book I have published named Parenting, Equipping Babies for a Lifetime. There's another one called Love and Marriage for a Lifetime. So these books are authored by Dr. David Stevens. Now I thought about it. I said, yes, love and marriage. I think this goes to church. Let's help those couples in church. You know, I took it out to the church and the church embraced it. And yes, it cost a lot to fulfill these things. But for an author to sit home and watch his or her book spread around the world is a thing of joy. There is nothing sweeter than somebody calling you or watching a television or hearing from somebody that I read Dr. David's book, and yes, it has changed my life. I read Mrs. Jenny's book, and yes, it has changed. It's sweeter that way. Even if you don't make much sales, the joy of sitting and knowing that your book is making progress out there is the greatest, I guess, for an author. Mm-hmm.
I agree. I mean, I think all the authors I talk to have a purpose for their words are passion for them, and they're hoping that it will make a difference in someone's life in some way, whatever their topic is. And sometimes it, like you said, they fall flat because they're not getting out in the world. They're not reaching the people that need to read those words.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think back to when I was in middle school, which is all, you know, teenagers have a rough time, but I read books that had like similar situations that I was going through, and it helped, right? To think, okay, I'm not alone. Those words are impacting me, and they impact lots of other students also. So that's amazing. So, okay, so you do promotion. You actually help with the physical publication, taking the manuscript, getting it out on all the book platforms, Amazon, wherever. What about editing, book covers, all of those other pieces? Do you also handle all of that?
Yes. We do all the full package. We do the full package. So like if you go, I received a message this morning, I have a manuscript and I want to publish. Okay, fine. Go to the website, fill the form. In the website, in the form, you see formatting, editing, typesetting, book cover design, publishing, launching, even designing the author's website, and promotion, marketing, distribution. They're all there. You know, just pick the ones you want to do and we'll just pick it. We'll take care of it for you. Because I personally, it's really difficult for me to publish a book that I did not edit. Reason is because I'm not just a freelancer. I'm not a freelancer. So I don't just pick random jobs and get it all done because of the money. No, I am registered. And I cannot tarnish the name of my publishing company. So there are people that bring books that have been edited maybe somewhere else. I'm not saying that people don't edit well. There are people that actually edit and edit well. But there are people that bring books that are not edited properly or might be edited properly, but not formatted properly. And you bring to me and say, publish, I'm done with everything. Just publish for me, get me the ISBN and all. And at the end of the day, the person they condemn is the publisher if the book is not done well. Nobody cares about the editor. Nobody cares about who did the manuscript, who did the formatting. Nobody cares about who even did the book cover design. All they know in the world today is that, yes, that's the publisher of this book. There is this book I have in my house today. It's just I should call it a messed up published book. Now, an author brought the book to me and said, this is the book I published some time ago, and I want you to publish this book, this new book, just like the old one. I said, okay, and I opened the book, and the letters are so mixed up, and everything is so messed up. I called him up. I said, did you even read this book? You just published and started distributing. You did not even read through. And I told him, I said, I can't publish your book the way this was published. And this one that is already published, you have to take it down because the book is really messed up. So before I publish a book, I make sure that even if the book has been edited somewhere, I will go through it again and confirm that the editing was done properly. Now, I have people that do work for me, but when it comes to editing, formatting, typesetting a book, I do that particular job myself because I don't want my company's name to be tarnished. So I am very, very careful about the editing, the formatting, the typesetting of a book. Very important.
Yes, I agree with you. And I hear that over and over from readers that with this whole self-publishing industry, excuse me, that's come about is that, you know, you can get a book for $1.99 or 99 cents on Amazon, and, you know, you pick it up and you start to read it and you realize that it's not professional, right? I hate stumbling over a grammatical error. You know, I was a teacher for a long time, and that'll just like stop me in my tracks when I'm reading because it doesn't flow smoothly with the story. So I think having a really good editor work on your work makes a huge difference. I agree with you. So where do your authors come from? I mean, you're across the world from me. I'm in the United States and you're way over there. Are you mostly focusing on authors in your area? Are you worldwide? Where are your authors coming from?
All right. So my authors are actually, in fact, I'm worldwide. And even in my country, I think I've only published for three people from my country. I am not really centered in publishing for Nigerians. Reason is because they don't really, how will I fix it? They don't really, I don't even know the particular word to use because I'm trying to be careful. So Nigerians are difficult to manage. They're very, very difficult. Yes, very difficult to manage. So, and I find it very easy. I find it very comfortable working with other authors abroad. I have published for somebody in Australia. I've published for someone in the US. I've published for someone in the UK. I've published for someone in the Philippines, in Vietnam, in Korea. You know, I just publish all around for people around the world. I have actually published for Nigerians. I have even published for Rwanda, Congo, you know, Malawi. Yeah, but from Nigeria, it's even really difficult. As I speak to you right now, there are messages popping up from somebody who really wants to publish and in Nigerian. So I am even trying to be very, very careful publishing for a Nigerian. Most of the Nigerians I have published for, they are my people. Majority will not complete the payment. Majority will like to even scheme or overuse. Let me use the word overuse that particular person. You know, they won't take you for anything useful. They take people for granted. They don't care, you know, because they feel you're in their country. And so I decided not to publish for Nigerians. But since I'm a Nigerian, fine, if they come, I publish for them. But I thank God I'm registered. So when you come for my publishing or you come to my publishing house, I make sure you sign a contract. I make sure you sign the proposal, stamp it, make everything work professional, because Nigerians are really difficult. Yeah, they're very, very difficult. If you permit me to tell you a few stories of the people I have published for in Nigeria, oh God, this would be an emotional podcast.
So a question I get from potential authors a lot, and is, just from my experience as an author also, is like this price range. Like it's expensive to get a book into print sometimes, and all companies charge differently for their services. Is there a ballpark? So like if a brand new author came to you and said, I've never done this process before, can you give me a ballpark what it might cost? What would you say to them?
All right, that is for the printing or
for
for
the
the publishing?
whole thing, start to finish.
All right. Presently, if I must say, my publishing house is not really for the money. So I came from a very a poor family, so I understand it when people are trying to strive, when people are trying to succeed. So I made my publishing company to be budget based. So if you go to my website, you see where it is written, what is your budget for this publishing, for this? And then another space where it's written, do you have any consign? So that is where the people will feel how they want us to help them in this publishing process. So I don't really I don't even give cost for publishing. I have published for somebody for $100. I have even published for $20. And I have published for free. Right now, I just completed publishing a book for a 16-year-old. He said he's a refugee in Malawi. So I published for him for free. So, and right now I am in the process of publishing another book for somebody who came to me crying that she's trying to use this book to make a living. And I am publishing that book presently for $70.
So what's your top range? Because I think you might get flooded with offers.
Yes, exactly. And I don't really care. I don't really care about it. I just believe that, I have decided in my life to help people. So if this is a medium of helping, of supporting, I even apart from this publishing, I support people a lot. I help people in schools, pay school fees, do a lot of things. So I just decided to use this medium. I don't have a top rate. I don't have a particular cost for this. I don't have a particular cost for that. But I would tell you, just for an instance, if I'm using this author's website to give an example, you don't pay the subscription fee to me. Every site has the cost for their subscription fee. Every domain has their cost. I may decide to create the author's website, to design the website for you for free, but you should bear it in mind that you are paying for your subscription, not to me, but to the site. You're paying for domain, not to me, but to the site. So I am really very careful in that aspect. I used to make sure that the authors pay directly from their card to the site, so that tomorrow they would not say, this Nigerian took my money, this Nigerian did this, because they would, I am really very careful about that. So if I ask the author, what's your budget? And the author says, this is my budget. I will tell the author, okay, fine. I am getting an ISBN, like in my country, getting an ISBN will cost me printing extra 3 copies of those books and submitting it to the library. So whatever the author is giving to me, I will make sure that even if I'm doing it for free, the money will be enough to print 3 copies at least of the book and submit it to the library, to the Nigerian library, to get an ISBN.
Mhm.
That is very important. And again, I will also make sure that the cost, which is the budget for the book from the author, will also be able to cover up maybe for that is, if an author says I need marketing, I need promoting, I will tell you to promote a book, to market a book, this is the strategy I want to use. And this is the cost for this strategy, because this money doesn't come to me, this money goes for it. So I will tell you, I don't charge personally for a personal charge or for my personal benefit. Because those books, to tell you the truth, I really enjoy reading those books while editing. So I don't really joke with it. I'm a very good reader. So, it gives me more opportunity to explore. I just help them and support them in any way I can. So I don't really give prizes or cost.
Well, it's a great mission that you have, and I know a great support for authors, because it's expensive, the whole process, and I think authors are in a similar place to you, as we want to make a difference in the world, and often don't have the money to do that. So by getting our words out there, maybe we're helping a few people to live a better life or to feel less alone. I think words have real power. Well, thank you for being here today. I've had a lovely time chatting with you. And in the show notes, we will put all of your contact information so people can get in touch with you. And good luck in your mission.
Thank you so very, very much. I'm really excited. I'm just happy about this podcast. And I want to say thank you for giving me an opportunity to do this. Every author out there is doing a great job, bringing out books, helping us to understand that we are not alone. I think you should allow me to borrow that word from you. Yes, we are not alone. So I have read books that have lifted my spirit. I have read books that have motivated me, that has encouraged me to even do more. You understand? Yes. So that is why I am very, 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 very ready to also help these authors, fulfill their dreams of being one of the best authors, or at least being one person, being this particular person that helped this person in one way or the other. We must not always give money to help somebody, We also can help people in different ways. So I am just really very happy. And I think I should use this opportunity to tell all the authors out there to keep up with the good work. And one day, this good work will pay off.
Well, thank you. And until our next episode, we'll see you later.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this informal conversation with today's author.
Join us next time as we connect writers and readers around the kitchen table.